maps down in 10 situation would be interesting. But anyways, we're hopping into this game, trying to incorporate both games here. It's going to be kicking off on Train. Detona up against Isurus. Seeding obviously going to be on the line. But they also have, what, Furia, Renegades, Envy, Complexity, E United. There's so many teams out there that on paper won't have too tough of a time here for them. So if anything, I think they use this match as a time to practice and then use the next few weeks as well, more importantly, to really hammer things down because it's not going to get easier from here out.
Well, Detona had an absolutely phenomenal CT side yesterday. 10 rounds in a row to bring back the match. And, well, it's dead even for the Betway odds. So you really do just have to make a decision based on who you actually think is going to win, not how much moolah you're going to make off the back of it. But
makes our predictions even more valuable for the people at home.
For sure.
Unless we're wrong, and then we'll get tons of tweets saying, why the hell did you make me lose my money?
Well, if you bet based on what I say, then I think you're already a fool anyway. So,
that's why you should bet responsibly, ladies and gentlemen.
And not listen to me at all times. Unless I'm correct in it, in which case...
Then why weren't you listening to Tom?
You should have been listening. Not my fault. But yeah, Detona had a very good CT side. 10 rounds in a row yesterday to turn the game back after they were losing quite significantly. The question is, are they going to start things off that way this time? They struggled a bit on the T side, that's for sure. VSM actually had one of his poorer matches. Well, we are going to see smokes being thrown over, a deep one into the connector just to allow them to get forward without the rotations really coming in. The CT side, they've not moved. They haven't moved a bit.
Well, maybe they should have, because that's going to be the two players inside the site falling. Now playing for the retake here. They do have a kit on PRT, but again, they had to find 5 players before they could even get towards this actual bomb. It's going to be so tough to do here, especially with the massive lack of utility. Well, complete lack of utility, because they've got absolutely nothing. And Isurus just holding strong, being patient about this, realizing the CTs have to come to them. They don't have to push aggressively. But Turtle will open things up, getting the first kill. Max will respond. Pierce trying to push in towards upper, does get a kill, but he's left to himself against 3, and you have to imagine there's no way he's going to be able to win on that one. And there you go, Isurus will take the first round here.
Yeah, an important start for them to get off to, get that pistol round on the T side on one of the maps where the T side is probably the toughest overall. You can definitely get run down, bogged down when it comes to the T side and run out of ideas. So getting that pistol round gives you that extra bonus. However, we have seen so many forced buy wins at this point. I remember Turtle almost managing to do it with the Deagle yesterday on Train, and but I think he was pretty mad when he didn't manage to do it.
Well, even VSM on Train's second round T side just comes out of pop, gets 2 quick kills at the Deagle. Yeah, it's really kind of weird to imagine that second round's just really, you don't know who you're going to be fully confident in.
That's already an AK on the floor.
Well,
yeah, he came out pop and went pop, pop, and then 2 of the opponents went down.
Down. But, you know, if we talk about VSM having a relatively quiet match yesterday, so did PRT. And that's not very common for them. VSM, I'm pretty sure
there is someone there.
When you do that, you're supposed to be able to spot the player, and then you back away. But 1962, I guess he's just really thin.
Maybe he's just showing off. Just like, oh, I'm here. I'm here. Oh, I'm gone. Oh, I'm here. Oh, I'm gone. And then he was gone.
Did the camera catch that? Can we put that replay in the picture-in-picture? I'm really scared when the cameras are facing us now.
The lights are off.
I'm just really hoping
there's nobody home.
Well, I hope they didn't catch what happened between the pre-show and starting this part off, because that was...
Ooh, Turtle. Oh, that's unlucky. So close to getting the kill onto MBL. And the remaining CT players probably just going to save what they've got. Give them a little bit of an extra chance in the next round. And the T side don't really need to overhunt here, but MBO has still got to be careful here.
Is the AK still down, or did they pick it up? Was they able to want to secure it? Okay. So I wonder if there might be actually a weapon on the ground. Well, there is going to be now. Deagle in the hands of Lukowski. He's going to have to fight his way to survive, and he gets the second, looking for the third as well to try to survive now. 1962 will get it, but that was a lot of damage done. They're able to still save the AK and the SG into the next round, but that was a little bit scary for the side of Isurus. But still, 2-0 start. Should have the CTs on the save here. And looking for that big 3-0 to begin with. And, you know, to be fair, Isurus haven't looked really too bad over the last few days. They've had, obviously, some tough opponents, but they didn't look like a team that would be far beyond better than anyone else. And in the sense of matches they should win, like for instance against Infinity yesterday, that should have been a more one-sided 2-0 than it actually turned out to be. And that worries me for a little bit, because in my head, I rate them a lot higher than Infinity. I mean, hell, this was the team who got through into the finals last season out of their group. They won 3-0. And they started to struggle, and Well, now Isurus should have a relatively clean, easy round.
Well, yeah, no, I may not be correct in this, but I'm fairly certain that Infinity only beat Sam A's old team. So you've got a combination of the two bottom teams from last season facing off against the winner. So in reality, if Detona doesn't win, you have to wonder if they fall a little bit further. But yes, Sam in with a chance for the P250, even retrieves an SG. Now there's either a chance for a save, or he's going to opt to try and do some extra damage. Winning the round seems slim, but PRT does have a kit, so there may be a temptation there.
Well, it comes down to getting these kills, I think, for VSM. Well, yeah, with the smoke coming through, it pretty much just solid. Oh, what? He still gets the kill through the smoke. Tiburcio gets one as well onto NBL, and he gets a second. What's going on here? This is a round they had basically nothing invested into, and they close it out. VSM with no armor gets himself a triple kill, and Detona are going to pick up their first round.
I don't understand.
I don't think there is any understanding sometimes.
No comprende. Don't understand. Don't know what just happened. That, like... Yeah, they just managed to get 4 kills, didn't lose a single player, and defused the bomb. And, yeah, don't even really look too phased about it. It's like, yeah, you know, it just kind of happened. I'm pretty sure that the tattoo he has, right, is of the player burning in the diffusal, right?
I thought it was like a mix between that and the simple one from Cash.
Because the thing is, that is now on one of the new Glock skins, so he could literally have his tattoo on a skin.
Well, I'm pretty sure he...
Yeah, obviously he took it from in the game in the first.
Can they copyright him and like make him get a laser removal?
I don't think so.
That would suck. NBL, that's a suck for him. He gets rushed down. Detona, the aggression coming through, catching Isurus off guard. Noxie's gonna pull one back in the favor, but eventually will be turned on, and that will be Turtle getting the last kill and a second round on the board for the team. And Detona, I mean, to be fair, that was a clean round for them. It was a clean round of the round before where they pretty much had nothing invested. And they should have a pretty stable economy. Yeah, Turtle's like, yeah, that's my round. That's my kill. I mean, obviously it wasn't in English, but, you know.
You're an expert in Portuguese.
I am, yeah, I am. Obrigado, Tom. I actually said that to one of the Argentinian teams, and they're like, no, it's gracias, because we speak Spanish, not Portuguese. I'm like, oh, I'm an idiot. Oh, oh.
But that was actually something I was interested in when it came to Sharks, because obviously they have a mix. So obviously there's similarities between the languages, but do they just sort of speak their own language and hope everybody understands, or do they sort of...
I want to say it's similar to like the Scandic languages, like Sweden, Norway, and Denmark, where they can kind of all understand each other. Like it's just generally similar enough sounding.
I think there's a lot. Well, obviously they're Latin-based, aren't they? So that would make sense, but I'm not certain, so that's why I was questioning it. Obviously, us Brits, or at least myself, very ignorant and only speak my own language, even when living in another country.
Well, don't worry. I've had more than enough experiences with Joe Miller calling me out on my lack of geographical knowledge of Europe, as well as Red Eye, VSM. Well, he gets 2 quick kills. He's still alive. Potentially get a third. Noxie's on 9 HP, and he just had backup coming back through, but 1962 did get 1 kill, but should close out relatively simple. And Detona going to take the lead after 5 rounds, 3-2.
Yeah, and they've done a decent job of, well, actually, they've done a fantastic job of building up their money. The Force Buy win definitely helped them out, and, well, going forward into this, they can now have a pretty damn bolstered buy when it comes to the T's. And this is a problem, because as we saw yesterday, there was such a streak coming out of Detona when they had all the weaponry onto the board. Like we saw Tiburcio just not missing a shot with the AWP, and this is where I really need to see something out of Isurus early on in this map. Otherwise, I am going to start to get worried for them.
Well, it's pretty much Max or Noxie in my head. Tiburcio, we saw him take this peak so many times. And, well, speak of the devil, Max gets the kill. Gives him the man advantage and takes down a critical part of Detona on the defense. And Turtle is just looking for someone to poke their head out in towards ladder room for a kill. Instead, just going to back away completely. And he didn't really have much support in Pop either way. But he still gets the kill, and he's still managing to hold this angle. This is unfortunate for Isurus. They have the man advantage. Now they're going to be down by 1 compared to Detona. And it seems like it's all just coming down to losing some individual duels.
Yeah, the worry for them as well is it was mainly only Tiburcio playing well yesterday, but if you do get better performances coming out from VSM, I think that Isurus are actually going to have a lot of trouble here. I'm going to be looking at Max. I think he was very, very good yesterday at the beginning of Nuke, and if he can perform in that sort of way again, then they should have a decent chance in this series. But here we go, 40 seconds left as they start to make their way forward. PRT, a bit of a dirty position, and Turtle even going to peek out. He drops the bomb as well. Buys even more time for the CT side, and because they're unable to clear him from this angle, they are really going to be in trouble. He's going to get eyes on the bomb once again, and I actually wonder what the plan is here for the T side. They just seem to be waiting for him to make a peek, and he doesn't have to. He could even wait for the time to tick all the way down, and the Reversive can't actually do anything here because he needs to get to the site. He's got 10 seconds. He doesn't have enough time to kill Turtle and go back, and he knows if he goes for any plant at this point in time, he's dead.
Look at that money. VSM on 10K. They have so much built up from these last rounds for them being so clean. And again, Turtle not being punished. He got 2 kills there for free. I mean, the first one, there was no backup for the player in mid. He just drops him with a headshot. Then sits back and pop after backing away from that before. And then just waits. No one challenges him into Pop Dog. No one even went down there. They threw a Molotov and that was it. And you can't expect to be able to always win out in these 1v1 duels if you're Isurus. You need to have that potential for the return frags. You need to be able to equalize things. And it does worry me if the game continues like this, where they're not able to return a kill like that. That was for free. That one, there was another player there. That should have been a double peek coming through or something. You can't let Detona get man advantages against you like this, and now Isurus is just going to be on pistols.
Yeah, well, when the CT side has a 4-buy that can be purchased by the Ts, that's normally where you have
that's
worries.
a little awkward.
Well, let's see if they can at least get a gun out. That's so much damage already done. VSM has to be a bit careful. He's not going to be surrounded. And, well, actually, the last player is on the other side, and that is as clean as it gets. So much cash being built up for Detona. This is the one worry of picking into this map versus them, is the fact that they're actually going to be on the CT side first. And I wonder if Isurus firstly have the tactical depth to do anything on the T side, and if they don't, well, they're going to be so far down in this game. And Detona even proved yesterday how good they are once everything gets going.
Yeah, was it 10 rounds straight, you said?
It was. That's how they closed out the game. They were losing, I think it was 13-6. And, well, yeah, mathematically, they won 10 rounds in a row, and it finished 16-13.
Well, they've won 5 rounds straight now, so halfway there.
Living on a prayer.
Oh.
Don't quit your day job.
Oh, look at this. Max, he just walks out upper in the spray. A little bit wild, but he does get the kill nonetheless. The bomb not really in a position to get down, but with the kill on Tiburcio, seems like they've been able to win out on the inside. But again, like that wasn't, you know, okay, a nice flashbang, a nice smoke to set Max up. It was just him pushing out upper and VSM not looking or not having another player to watch that position. So the round is just basically coming off the back of luck for them.
Well, I think something that I actually noticed in this match yesterday was that the way VSM actually plays the B site is so much riskier than the way you see a lot of like top players play on the site. Like, sometimes you'll have them sat back towards the left side of the bomb train so that they can spot lower, but if someone pushes out upper, it'll be a bit more difficult to kill them. Or you sit in between the bomb train so that, again, you can't be spotted for either angle and you hold a little bit more passively. Or you sit at the very back of the bomb train. So again, you just have angles where you're covered. He nearly always plays on top of the right-hand train, which, as you saw, is really risky. And the way he plays it is he just sits going right, left, right, left, right, left. And if they catch him when he's looking right, he's dead.
The sprinkler, as I like to call it. But yeah, I mean, you would say if you wanted to play that quote unquote properly, would be just keep VSM towards the back of sight then. Keep him alive and just play for retake. If he plays aggressively, he gets caught, he's dead, you're down a man.
I think it also depends on the player. Like for him, he's clearly confident in that sort of play, and they will switch things up eventually where you have like maybe Tiburcio going a little bit more aggressive. But yeah, you can pretty much avoid rounds like that in that regard. And wow, this is just a extreme change of pace coming out from this T side, and it is being shut down, absolutely owned by the CT defense already. We are going to have 2 remaining. Noxy will get an entry back in. The trades are so fast, and well, so as you saw mentioned, the last round did seem a little bit lucky with just an aggressive push out onto the B site. This time they try and do the same again on A and get absolutely shut down.
And this worries me, is like, what do we expect out of them? Like, I'm not trying to be extra harsh, but you can't be one-dimensional like this. You need to have some sort of plans. I can respect the switch up, the pace, pushing outside. Okay, fine. But we need to start seeing them do some proper executes. Get some smokes down. Get some flashbangs. Open up kill potential for one of your teammates. Like, set them up for some kills. Don't force anyone on your team to just look for the individual plays. We saw Maxer do that before, pushing out upper towards the inner site, which did get Isurus another round on the board. And there we go. Flashbang comes through, MBL pushes out. This is what I want to see. This is perfect. This is Isurus playing together as a team, and this is what they're going to have to do if they want to beat Detona.
Yeah, this is turning into an all-out brawl in this match as Tiburcio is forced to save the AWP.
So why can't they do that like every round, you know? Set up players. I don't know if that's just maybe the style of calling within the team, or maybe they run out of answers and they get frustrated.
Well, I think also like the initial kill that he gets, again, is someone left in the open. Like, I get what you mean. The second flashbang was very good, but it's still a brute force play. Like, it wasn't like that they had like a smoke setup that enabled him to get forward and left players without vision. It was sort of just like, so there was a smoke down and one of the CTs tried to push through it, and because of that he died.
Right.
Like, so I still haven't seen anything particularly sustainable, but that's not a bad way to get openers. And that's something that I do have to give credit for, is Isurus have now a couple of times been able to catch out players from this CT side where they shouldn't have been. And yeah, obviously you give credit, you take it away. That probably means that Detona needs to be a little bit more careful here. And while orb's gonna be dropped, doesn't really matter though.
I mean, the counter to that strategy for Detona is just nade or incendiary T-main.
Don't pitch through a smoke. Yeah,
or that. And then they're not gonna be able to do that to you. So now adaptations need to come out of the side of Detona, as they have lost 2 rounds in a row, but they still have the money to spend either way. I mean, yeah, he wasn't even blind, so the second flashback, yeah, that catching the Cowsy up on top of the train was perfect. But that's what I want to see, like, set up players for your team. Set up plays, set up the opportunity for someone to be the playmaker for him. And you have Max currently leading at 7 kills, and looks like they might try to go for an early pick down towards lower yet again, trying to punish VSM, who gets the incendiary off and backs away. Again, he'll be alone at the site. He does have, looks like Tiburcio rotating in towards Z, but he's still holding a very aggressive position, like you pointed out, Tom. It seems to be his go-to.
Well, yeah, and the other thing is as well is yesterday they were very reliant on Tiburcio being able to play that rotational player. Considering he has not had the hot start, this is great. I like the use of multiple Molotovs. I think the second one was a little bit late, so just needed better timing for that to work for them. But that's something I've wanted to see pretty much all the way through from actually Detona on their T side yesterday. They just had VSM just jumping pop almost every single round and dying. But here we go, smoke execution out. They're going to leave one in towards the connector. VSM's aggressive position will only net him one. And with nobody actually pushing out upper, it leaves at least one position null and void. There's still going to be a flanker in the form of reversive, and Tiburcio unable to connect the shot. He will at least find the information that there is going to be a player pushed up. And that battle's probably going to be the most crucial one of the round. If they can kill the aggressors from this T side, then it should be theirs to take. There's no way that Tiburcio gets out of that position, and actually the T side are winning these duels up close. Some good counter spots out from them, and well, the flank's still being waited for, but now the time starts to tick away as PRT and Turtle have to make a decision soon as to whether they're going for this or if they are just going to be saving their guns. And Max is going to make the decision for them. He's going to push forward. He will eventually go down, but it doesn't matter. The trade is there, and a 5th now onto the board for Isurus. I'm doing a much better job than what we saw yesterday from Infinity.
Tough part now for Isurus is, yes, you're winning 3 rounds in a row, but because Detona had so much money built up, and because the loss bonus is there now for them, they still have at least one player on 10K, another one on 7K. So it's not like you've been able to bankrupt them. They're still able to buy up yet again. But this is still a good streak. Good amount of rounds being built up. They're looking like a team now. Again, good execution onto their side. I was expecting VSM to get more than one from that position, to be honest. And now they go back to the standard. Let's just look for a pick. 1962 just runs straight out. He eventually falls to Turtle. The rest of the team just going to rush straight out of Pop, trying to look for a kill, trying to push up towards the bomb side. Molotovs are being thrown through. And Max, oh, that was a kill maybe he should have been able to get, but Tiburcio is down, and that's going to be a key part here for Isurus.
And they still did a lot of damage. There's now a couple of low players. The CT side still have multiple people around these smokes. It's just going to come down to who gets the angles, and every single one goes the way of the CT side. Noxe going to be the only one left. Spotted out. They know exactly where he is, and the bomb's down on the site, so this should be a position that CT side are unable to lose, but they are getting a little bit aggressive. I'm kind of hoping we don't see any of these players make it around the corner. Just sit back, force the AWP into the open.
Oh, he was so blind too. He wanted the shot, but he still gets it.
I don't know why he's peeking that. Such a risk. As if he died from falling. Okay.
Well, the Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel play of the game, or play of the game, right there.
Oh dear.
That's fine. It's not a big deal. It was one round. They're able to take quite a few untrained. I think they're on 6 at the moment. Actually, no, sorry, on 5. But let's see. I mean, I kind of question the push at a 1962 in middle, just trying to brute force it.
It's what the thing is, that's one of the main things that's been working for them, though. It is just that early fight. Like, I would actually be intrigued to see what happened if Turtle doesn't push there, because he has been very aggressive, and it's been him and Lukazi where either they win that opening duel or they die, and that is pretty much the round. Like, whoever gets that opening pick just seems to win at the moment. And, well, for the CT side, they need to be a little bit more consistent in these sort of plays. Like, they need to be the ones racking up rounds, whereas for Isurus, if they get a play like that where they get a pick and take an early advantage, that's great.
Why was that smoke thrown so much later? Because this goes back to the timing of the sorry, not the smoke, the incendiary thrown in towards pop.
I think the idea is that
to push him all the way out and not kill him?
No. So the idea is the first one forces him back, and then the second one holds him in.
Right, but why wouldn't you just throw both at the same time? He threw it like quite delayed.
Because I think the idea is that if you throw them at the same time, he'll just run through.
Okay. ESM again, held up aggressively. Did have Lukazi to support front and back, but he gets overrun, and Lukazi's going to get 1 kill to help turn things back into an equal setting. NBL's still going to be watching the flank as he's going to rotate back towards the lower to help out the inner side, and PRT just catches Reverso trying to push up aggressively. 1962, if he just looks towards his left, he'd be able to see him. Oh my god, he looked right when I said it. I was freaking out, like he can hear me. But PRT jumps down, gets the kill, and they know where NBL is. They get the tag. He somehow turns around and still gets the kill nonetheless, and the bomb. I don't think you're able to stick it here. NBL, how does he do that? How does he survive?
Lukazi with the whiff of the century.
Oh, that's...
That was the round right there. He had him dead to rights and just wasn't able to hit the shots. Wow. NBL, that's a big clutch to win. That is absolutely massive. So the T side are going to get their 6th. It's this, like, how he doesn't get this kill here is, I don't know. I don't understand. And then for Tiburcio, well, he needed to hit the shot with the AWP. They finally broke the money, Jason. It's just a force buy.
Only took quite a few rounds for that. And actually going to push. Oh, they might have caught Max off. He's not going to. Okay, well, I was going to say he wasn't going to expect it, but you know what? If he gets a spray down like that, then
dirty.
Can't really argue too much about it. Gets himself a nice quick triple now. Puts it all on Lukazi. 1 versus 5 with just the Deagle. Not the worst weapon to have, but definitely not the best. And certainly doesn't really know where anyone's going to be anymore. It's just we'll get the 7th on the board.
It's not been the best of games for him, that's for sure. I think that sort of spray on upper was pretty much the epitome of how his game has gone so far.
I think NBL even thought, like, okay, I'm dead. Like, what? Why am I trying to turn around and kill him? And then he's like, wait a minute, this is taking a really long time.
How am I alive?
He had time to have this whole, like, inner monologue about it. And then turn around, like, okay, well, maybe I should just kill him then.
His whole life flashes before his eyes, and then he's still alive at the end of it going,
wait a minute.
And then just turns around and headshots him.
Oh, it almost reminded me of the, what was it, Sam and Obo clip on Reddit a couple days ago, where Sam was playing, I think it was playing something, some match, rank S maybe, and he catches Obo looking the other way, and Obo just 180s him instantly, and Sam was just at a loss for words. But again, we have the push come out, Reverso gets the initial kill up against Turtle. Tiburcio will fall as well. Lukazi's able to trade 1 back, but I feel like he's going to need way more than this, and he does have the opportunity for the one-on-one duels. He gets the headshots, Lukazi! Not able to get the 3rd against Noxy, but still gets them in a chance to win the round. He made up for that prior round, Tom.
I don't even think he was aiming for the guy in main. Like, that's ridiculous, and VSM has just now got another. It's on to Noxy to try and clutch this one out. 1v2. What? Where did that bullet go? Disappeared into the abyss.
I think Lukazi's like, yeah, that's what happened to me at upper. The bullet just disappeared. It curved. We're in wanted. I don't know. Angelina Jolie just came out of nowhere. But still, that was a round that I would say Detona should not have been able to win. But Lakowski with the 3K on the Deagle, hey, it happens.
Yeah, and then it's going to give them the half. Even still, though, 7 rounds for the T side for Isurus is a very good T half there. On their map choice, they go onto the CT side, and we didn't really see anything too impressive yesterday out from Detona, so there's going to have to be a real turnaround there. A lot of it, any rounds they really got was off the back of Tiburcio, and he's been much quieter today. We have had VSM playing well, but a lot of the stuff he was attempting to do on the T side was just aggressively push down pop, so hopefully they've reviewed the demo, maybe switched a few things up, but so far, I've been fairly impressed with Isurus. They've had some decent nades, they've had some decent entries, and I think they can pretty much take this map now.
You know what, Tom? I want to sit back and watch some of these clips. Hopefully Lakowski's kills at the end was in there. And we'll see you guys on the backside of a break for the second half.
Sitting on a bench, waiting for the time to pass, dreaming of what happens next. I see what I wanna be, questioning my destiny, only knowing what I see. I don't even realize I've already made a path, and I can change it anytime. I can't take it back. I know what I want, but it seems so damn far away. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said I know I empower those who dream like me. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said I know I empower those who dream like me. And you say you wanna be somebody. You got a voice, then you better use it. Tell yourself day after day it's time to prove it. No days off, keep the hustle moving. Wanna see you be what you wanted to be, prove it. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said I know I empower those who dream like me. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said I know I empower those who dream like me. And you say you wanna be somebody. And you say you wanna be somebody. And you say you wanna be somebody. And you say you wanna be somebody.
Thank you everyone for joining us on your lovely Saturday for the ESL Pro League. This was the first half stats from our first game of the day. It's actually the final day, Tom. Can you imagine? It's the last day, 12-day marathon.
Can't wait for my 16 hours of travel tomorrow.
And I bet you can't wait to be apart from me.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting an upgrade in a partner over the next couple of weeks. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, slight upgrade. Look at this, though, the push coming in. They're actually trying to plant the bomb within the smoke. Noxy tries to stop it from going down, but he can't spot it out in time. He gets rushed down by VSM. Looks like here's a swoop to take the first kill of the round. VSM still trying to play with the smoke. How is he not dead? How is no one dead on the CT side? And now it's Lakowski alone against 4.
Well, this would be a more impressive round.
He just left it, I guess.
Don't spray your spray.
You don't deserve it. You
Doesn't do anything. Got 1 kill. Coward. I'm just I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
Tom.
No. Yeah, just going to keep his Kevlar. It probably means that in the next round, he'll just be able to buy it on SG. So it's actually not a bad play, but it's not what we want to watch. This is, though, 1962, just banging it. Absolutely ruining opposition with some sexy USP shots. And all I really have to ask is, Prius, why aren't we watching him?
I'm just saying, if we had Rushley observing.
Or Sliggy, you know, Sliggy's pretty good. Or
you
know,
just anyone with
or
2
Bastion,
hands.
or
Jakey, maybe.
Yeah, Jakey. Or
get Sapphire here. My guess is he spilled something on his shirt at the start of that round, and he was busy trying to clean it off. Because we're going to get him on camera.
Yes, okay.
He's coming on camera later on today. He's gonna maybe try cast a game.
Aren't you being replaced?
I mean, I'll find something to do.
Did nobody tell you?
I mean, I still get paid the same, so I'm not complaining.
No, he's also taking your day rate.
Well,
that's a lot of
$0 for him.
exposure bucks.
See if we can go to the market with that. But we are seeing the 3 SGs for Detona. And some decent utility as well for them. So they do have the opportunity to you know, kind of execute into a site. This might be the actual play over towards Inner. And Turtle just peeks out. Takes a head clean off of Max, which leaves Oxy really far pushed up here by himself. He's not able to get anything. Turtle again, big kill out of him. And look at that, Detona off the back of that pistol round. Only getting 1 kill on the bomb down. They're going to take round 2. Oh my, that's...
They got to say a lovely prayer to S Jesus, because that is what won them that round. It does need to be nerfed though, like really. It is a bit silly, especially on this map. I think, so like when the AUG was buffed, or made cheaper, it became even more CT-sided. Then it got nerfed, and now the Ts have been given a bit more wiggle room. But it's just those entries that you can get just when running into the site. It's just absolutely filth. Like, his opposition there, even though like he's the defender, had such a disadvantage in that duel with him peeking in.
They like only argument, and by the way, it's just pistols at the vote for Isurus. Okay, all right, Max, gonna get 1. Kind of want to get my point out, but if he keeps getting kills like this, keeps hitting shots, then maybe there's a chance. But my argument for that, I mean, I understand the SG is insanely strong, and obviously players are going to buy that over an AK, and if they ever see on the ground, they're going to take that over an AK. But at the same rate, whenever it was the AK as the main weapon, like before the AUG was, you know, used a lot, CTs would always take the AK as well.
Yeah, but
obviously the scope gives you such a big advantage.
It's not even that though. It's the spray as well. The spray is easy to learn without the scope. With the scope, it's basically just a laser gun. Then you have the argument that it also has like higher penetration as well. It's basically just better in every way and only costs $50 more.
Yeah, maybe, you know,
it should just be a bit like either make it more expensive or like maybe nerf the fire rate a little bit. But because that's basically what they did with the AUG. Like, give something that makes you actually want to still use an M4. Because at the moment there is literally like there are basically no benefits to using an AK.
Max. That's a nice kill on a VSM. He's not able to recover the weapon, however, because of the kill in towards... I believe it was actually towards Pomp. And Wilkowski going to continue his struggles a little bit here. MBL is going to get caught up by Turtle, and again, no weapons being rescued. I do like the way Detona are playing this, keeping pairings. So even if one of them do fall, they don't donate the SG over to the other side or the AK. Now, Detona will close that one out, 11-8. I don't know. I think one of the arguments I saw, I think on Shocks, was like, we missed classic Counter-Strike, which was just basically M4s for CTs, AKs for Ts, and then obviously the ops mixed in.
I don't necessarily agree with that.
But I like having the variety of weaponry.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely think there should be variety.
The hardest thing about balancing it is you can't have them be too similar for such little difference in pricing. Like, they all need to be situational, right? And obviously the op, it's going to be situational where you're going to be playing long range. You're going to be looking for picks. How do you differentiate that when it comes to, you know, the AUG and the SG, and potentially even adding in another weapon into the game, though I don't see that really happening. I mean, it didn't work out so well for the R8. At least past that day.
People just don't know how to use it, you know?
I mean, I want to believe there is a world where it can be used for pre-firing. Because you obviously pop the gun and then come around the corner and shoot. but I don't know how actually applicable that is to a situation.
I'm not certain, but I think it also does more damage to the body as well than an eagle, like, consistently. So there's I'm fairly certain it still kind of sucks, but if they buffed it, then that might be the wrong play as well. Because you got to remember that like things like the CZ and the Tech 9 and the P250 and the UMP and the AUG and the SG have not actually changed very much. It's just that people didn't realize they were good.
Yeah, I mean, if I ever see MBK or Chris J using the R8, I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna start using this weapon now. But sometimes you do need to like buff things just to get people using it. And then you tweak it a little bit later on. They bring it back down to more of its normal.
Lowering the Negev's price.
I mean, I'm talking about
didn't work.
Other games as well.
Here we go, though. Aggression. Very little time left on the clock. 30 seconds as they now get their first entry. Reverse it with the AWP. He's going to be able to pick off one, looking for a second. Hasn't hit the shot and is getting forced further and further back. There is a flank coming in from Max, and more importantly, 1962 has dropped one more. They got 15 seconds. They need to get going, and Max is ready and waiting to hit them from behind. Isurus are going to be getting back onto the board, and Lukowski, he's going to cower away once again.
I don't know what it is, but for some reason in this group, we've seen this happen way too many times. Or they just run out of time. They're forced to execute in such a way with such little time left that there are going to be a lot of mistakes. There's a lot of sloppy play, and I'm not sure exactly why that's the case. I mean, they had the man advantage. They killed Noxy first.
I think that, firstly, like a lot of the teams we've seen over this group seem way too reliant on picks. Like, I think that's been a big problem. Like, we've seen, like, utility for some of the maps be atrocious. I think Isurus in the previous half actually did use some nades, which I like to see, like the Molotovs that go into pop, which are good for taking map control, which I appreciate at least. But, like, even they were still just, like, running out without a lot of utility, at least initially. Like, it seemed to come in later than maybe expected. So I think then, like, you see Detona, like, they didn't get a pick until the 30-second mark, so then they start making their move. And by that point, they haven't cleared anything. Like, they don't know where any of these players are on the CT side or in the right place because of the aggression information that was found out. So I think either if they're going to play like that, move at like 45 seconds, go, okay, we haven't got a pick, we have to do something, or have a proper execution, which is probably the better idea.
I'm a little bit worried, though, seeing VSM holding pop yet again. We're kind of critical about him in the play we saw yesterday on Train. Didn't really seem to work out too well. And it seems like Detona are just going to drag this one out again. Play for time. Though, I have to clear this position that Max is going to be in for another round. You should almost expect him to be here. And it looks like it's going to be hit towards out of me. They have cleared players over towards Ivy. That smoke's going to take so much time off the clock for Detona. Potentially could flash themselves through it. But someone's got to go. Don't tell me they're going to run out of time yet again. Yeah, look at this. The players are going to group up towards Ivy. They're just going to push us all together to look to take the outside. And now when Molotov comes in, Tom, are they even going to have a chance? So well. They still have a smoke on reverse it. Watch them throw it down here towards Ivy as well and just completely shut this down. Okay, well, he's not here. I was hoping he would rotate back.
Isurus have bought so much time for themselves. They had a couple of late smokes with 40 seconds left and a Molotov as well to just burn that clock even further. The bomb now hits the deck and the T's need to get these kills very quickly indeed. The aggression that came in earlier is now going to start to set them up, and well, they didn't run out of time because they didn't survive that long.
Tom, I don't get it. I don't get it. That's 2 rounds now they've lost just based off time alone.
Well, that one, I think that's
well done
more...
by the CTs, like, to delay their utility, right?
Took the words out of my mouth?
Good.
Thank you.
You're teaching me.
Yeah, no, basically, like, the late smokes that were kept, it seems more of, like, adaptive play coming out from Isurus. Like, they've seen the last couple of rounds, and the last round, they tried to get more aggressive. So it was Nox pushing through and actually getting killed because of it. So instead, this round, Max just goes, well, there's been no one in A main. 40 seconds, I'll just smoke it. That'll give them, like, what, 25 seconds left on the clock to execute. And then the same exact thing came in onto Ivy as well. And because they got smoked out of A main, they all went Ivy. So there was a smoke there with about 35 seconds left, leaving them with, again, roughly, like, 20, 25. And then you sort of look at that and go, okay, now there's an incendiary, that's another 5. You're trying to execute onto the site with, what, 10, 15 seconds left? Of course you're not going to win the round. And that's just smart from Isurus. They just knew how their opponent was going to play, and they used it to their advantage. And Detona need to either start picking up the pace a little bit, and if you could do stuff like that, it might get a little bit easier.
Looks like they might be trying to hit towards inner. Nox is going to lock down any sort of pressure coming from outside, and the rotations might come in as well. VSM gets the shot onto Max. How does that hit? Another big kill comes through for the big player, and then a third. Off the back of a deagle kill out of him, they've now gotten 3 kills. They've got the bomb down. They have a man advantage, and they picked up the weapons too, Tom. I don't understand sometimes. I really don't, but Detona might be able to take this round with pretty much nothing invested. VSM gets a 4th.
He's got a 4th kill. This is the VSM factor. We don't even see him AWPing too much within this team at the moment. It is just a hybrid. While MPL has screwed that up quite badly, just trying to get the AWP. 4 kills for VSM. And it's just one of those things. Like, that's the thing for Detona that I don't think there necessarily is for Isurus. Like, we've seen Max have some of those big hero plays, but I don't think anybody can do it to that level, where they just have one deagle, they literally take 4 individual duels and they win all of them. And that is why, like, we always talk about this player sort of being a shame, in a sense, that he does have that VAC ban. Obviously, it was when he was a kid, and the fact that he's still banned from when he was a kid is the stupidest thing ever. But, you know.
Almost like another situation for some other players. There was no rule set in place, and now they're permanently banned from events. By the way, I do want to say, though, the Isurus technically gave a chance for Detona to take that round because Reversa pushed out upper towards the T side and gave, I mean, obviously hits 1 kill, but gets returned on. Then no one was there to really support him. He goes down, gives the op over to VSM. There was no need to necessarily be aggressive for Isurus because it was just pistols. They could have sat back and then just played range against him.
To be fair, that's still quite a ranged battle. Like, I don't like harping on a player for getting 1 deagged, because it's sort of like, sometimes there's nothing you can do about stuff like that. Of course, like, yeah, there could have been some follow-up utility, but hey, that's just a tough break for them. And while, once again, VSM is going to get another entry into this site, he's going to give his team a chance in this 2 versus 3. Isurus gave themselves the early opportunities, but the trades have come back in, and VSM again. Just give this man an AWP. He's going to win you rounds. MBL is eventually going to start rotating in. They're already going to spot out 1, and VSM again. Him and Tiburcio combine. He's won them now 2 rounds back to back. And yeah, it's I think him starting off on the CT side has actually been a really good prospect for him. Also, the fact that he's no longer just playing pop. Like,
yeah,
I don't understand it. Like, it's one of those positions as well. Like, I don't know if I've ever been in that moment where he goes, yeah, and he's the dominant pop player. He always gets those picks and wins them rounds from pop, Doc. It's like, no, you want him pushing out A main, taking aggressive fights. You want him to challenge onto B. You want him to almost be a player on different portions of the map. And if he's playing well, let him be an entry fragger. Why not? Like, a lot of teams do that. When your star or even just a player is doing very well, you just give them a role that isn't theirs and just go, kill.
So what you're saying is utilize the strengths of your individual players.
Yeah.
And put in positions to make those strengths succeed.
See, when you say it like that, it sounds obvious, but...
Well, Noxy, I think he actually pushed out middle. I'm not sure if he spotted anyone towards Ivy, but they're now going to know they're going to be in this location. Here to get a little bit of a spray down against the kill as well. Yeah, trying to take these fights from range. VSM on 2.
Look how tagged they are! And they even made it in a nice little, like, bar graph pattern as well.
Can you hear me now? Oh, yeah, you're British. You don't even get that one.
No.
It's a cellular communication company, and their like logo thing was the bars.
Yeah, no. No. I thought that might just be like something that like not as obscure as that, but I guess American people probably found that absolutely hilarious.
I mean, I think American people find all my jokes absolutely hilarious. No one cares about Budget Rush here, though. His opinion does not matter, but he has a chance to say something about it when he gets on desk later.
Yeah, he can talk some smack back.
Let's see, 14 to 10. Detona on the verge of taking map 1. We still have DT to come up second. That will be Detona's pick, and then Inferno as a third if we get there. 1962's already taken a lot of spray coming through from Pop. VSM, well, a little awkward to see him back there after he's been so successful in other parts of the map.
Why is he not going AWP?
He's not feeling
Give
it.
him back the AWP. He's been playing so well. That just seems obscure, but hey, they still seem to be winning this round. And PRT is doing a very good job at that. VSM I think that's what they hope for, is that someone else makes a play, and then from Pop, he can just make a move where it's kind of easy from them on out. Like, your star player is normally someone who you sort of look to be like maybe the second or third man in. It's just like we saw in the game yesterday. I think what Infinity did a very good job of is forcing them to go for those late round plays, and that was when it was just like, I've basically just got a suicide play down Pop and hope I get a kill. Whereas this time, he does have other people who, at least now that they're starting to win rounds, have been able to set him up so that he can do stuff like that, where it's just like, okay, they got openers on B, now there's not, why would there be anyone in Pop?
Well, at the moment, Isurus are fighting for their life here on this map. You see the SMGs and the scouts spot up, and so far, 1962 has been the one taking the brunt of the damage. PRT just going to push straight down Pop. I think he's going to be joined by VSM off to the side as well. 1962 in a decent place. He has not been spotted out. He can play Troublemaker here, and now eventually he will be given up, and VSM just turns around to eliminate him. Bomb going to be planted. Marissa will get one, but they're going to need so much more than this, and Max might have given them a real chance, Tom.
I don't know how they're in this round at the moment. Ooh, that's a nice shot. Around the corner goes Nox, even going to retrieve himself an 8K, but now he has everything left to do. May even walk into Turtle. This could be a free kill. He turns around and there's the first. He's going to know that Tiburcio's behind him and it's an AK versus the AWP. Pistol even going to be out and Tiburcio hits the shot. 16 to 10. It is going to be a 5-round streak towards the end of the map that closes things out on the T side. It definitely got dicey there in the middle, but some massive plays coming.